हेलो एवरीबॉडी, वेलकम टू प्रोफेसर कलिंग। और आज हमारे साथ स्पेशल गेस्ट हैं निरंजन सर। आप लोगों ने बहुत रिक्वेस्ट किया था मेरे वीडियो पे कि निरंजन सर को बुलाइए, हमें बातें करना है। तो आज हमारे साथ निरंजन सर हैं। आज जो बात करना है बात कर लो, क्वेश्चन पूछना है क्वेश्चन पूछ लो, सब सर आज देंगे। सबकी मन्नत जो है पूरी करने वाले हैं। हेलो, वेलकम टू प्रोफेसर कलिंग सर।
Thank you so much. How are you, sir, Professor?
I am good. I am good. A bit nervous of the news, and but again, देखते हैं positive. I'm feeling positive right now.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Everyone keeping their fingers crossed.
Absolutely, because सजी सर ने सजी प्रभाकरन जो हैं अभी उन्होंने ट्वीट किया, अभी नहीं मतलब इवनिंग को ट्वीट किया है। मतलब ट्वीट नहीं, वो इन्फॉर्मेशन आई है कि that there is a talk going on
Yep.
and there is no, but we need to wait and see how things will work out. बट उन्होंने बोला कि नो तो नहीं है, वेट करना है, मतलब ऐसा बोल रहे हैं। सो वुड लाइक टू नो, ऑब्वियसली ये सब सही सेमी क्वेश्चन पूछने वाले हैं। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, व्हाट इज द लेटेस्ट?
Well, honestly, I'm not aware what the latest is. I can only reconfirm that talks are on. The All India Football Federation has been on it, and they have not given it up despite the IOA's kind of reluctance, if we may say, to send the team. Talks are still on. And fingers crossed, the entire country is keeping their fingers crossed. I would not say the entire country, but the footballing fraternity keeping their
Yes,
fingers crossed.
yes, mostly entire nation. It is a cricket, then it will be entire nation. But when
And
it
it
comes
needs
to
to be it
football,
needs to be done in the next 24 to
14 hours.
36 hours would be even more. 24 hours because the draw is there. 27th it starts.
Yes.
Sorry, the draw is there. It does not start right now. So it needs to be done as early as possible. We need to reach a decision, and it would be done whatever yes or no. The final stamp would be stamped finally in the next 24 to 36 hours. That's at the max.
Absolutely, that's what we got to know, that 24 to 48 hours उस टाइम पे सुबह वही बात हुई थी। अभी आई थिंक 9-10 hours हो गया, so at least it will be, would be getting today end of the day, or maybe tomorrow morning, or to the tomorrow end of the day at best. I don't think it will drag till Tuesday. By the way, what would be the possibility, if you will ask this question, what would be the possibility that India going? Okay, there are a lot of Indian fans are really excited, and they're like still confused कि यार ये फेक न्यूज है, या बाद में हमें बताया जाएगा और बाद में मना कर दिया जाएगा, यार नहीं यार इंडिया नहीं जा रहा है। डू यू थिंक पॉसिबिलिटी क्या है, मतलब 50 से ऊपर है या 50 से कम है?
Yeah, I believe very much optimistic. It's very much on. Otherwise, the Indian Olympic Association would have shut the doors, saying that nahi bhejenge. Obviously, they are a bit reluctant. There are both sides of the coin. There are many sides of the coin, if we may say. People may like it or people may not like it from two different quarters. That's a footballing fraternity and the Indian Olympic Association. But very much optimistic, and I believe we have a very strong chance of going. For all the right reasons, the team should be traveling. That's what I feel, but nothing is official till it's stamped and it's official. But as of now, very optimistic, not just logically that the team should go, but as per the developments, very optimistic that the team will eventually travel. There has been a quite sare natak hua hai. And this kind of drama, if I may call it, it's a drama within quotes, for the Indian football team going to the Asian Games, it's nothing new. Even 62, when we won the gold last time, there was reluctance from the ministry and to send the team. Eventually, it went. It performed. 1974, the Asian Youth Games, again there were talks when we finished joint winners with Iran, that the team won't be
Oh,
traveling, and thereafter each and every time this thing comes back to hit, that okay, will the Indian football team travel? Should the Indian football team travel? There's been a lot of drama. Teams have not been sent a couple of three occasions, and this is an integral part to the build-up of the Asian Games football edition, if I may say. It's a regular feature which happens almost every 4 years.
oh, this has been the history of our Indian football. Okay, every
Absolutely,
time we go
absolutely.
for or we plan for any, well, specifically Asian, then there is always a question: should we or shouldn't we? And same case, I think 1951 we had a same scenario, that should we send Indian team to World Cup or shouldn't we? and then we took a decision, no, shouldn't, we shouldn't. And now till now also the same thing we keep on discussing. अरे यार भेजना ही था यार, भेज ही देते यार, कौन सा जीत, मतलब कौन सा ये था कि if we don't win it we'll have some punishment waiting for in India, right? We have to just play. Hey, we are fighting for only to play.
Absolutely.
Another question is, you have been to part of AIFF and Indian football. Why we should be discussing on participation? Like participation is a basic thing for a any sports. Why we always discuss on the participation? कि भाई participation के लिए इतना इतना तामझाम क्यों करना है? इतना क्या दिक्कत है?
Well, but the answer lies in the fact that we have not been a sporting nation, kind of, at the international level. Obviously, the paradigm of Indian sporting scenario has been changing in the recent past. We have some world champions, if you call up wrestling, badminton, boxing, shooting, archery. When the world championships happen, we have world champions out there
Yes.
who are medal contenders, who bring us medals nowadays. The unthinkable happened even in athletics. But all these is a recent trend. If you look at the history of team sports since the evolution of hockey, the sport moving from grass to the astroturf 1970s 74, I guess, I believe. I always struggle with stats. I put up my hand and say, and obviously football, 51, 62, 70. Team sports in India, we have not done well in events. Obviously, people may go back to say, okay, cricket, we have done well. Absolutely, we have done well in cricket. But this is a multidiscipline sport. It's the biggest sporting arena in the entire continent, that is Asia. And the Asian Games comes every 4 years. And you very rightly speak about participation, because you know what? You have the World Cup qualifiers which come in every 4 years. If you look at the under 16 championships, AFC championships, under 19 or the under 22, it's every 2 years that come in. And let's not forget that this Asian Games football event is an under 23 event, which means that you are robbing a generation, 2 generations of for 4 years, which is 2 generations being robbed of having a participation, having a feel of what Asian Games and multidiscipline sports is all about. And so it's a very, very unique experience for one to be staying in the games village, witnessing all maybe world champions traveling with you in the same bus. It's an entirely different scenario. And you know what? Obviously, if you look at the football paradigm, you cannot be expecting to play Japan or a Korea Republic or an Australia or an Iran, which are the bigger nations in Asia, even if you want to, because the senior team is absolutely impossible unless you are drawn with them in the World Cup qualifiers. So when do you play them? So this is the kind of chance you get every 4 years to play them, and that's also the under 23 squad, because obviously it depends on the draw whom we are clubbed with in the group. So we are actually robbing a generation or 2 generations, I would say, 2 batches, because the under 22 AFC championship happens every 2 years. So 2 batches being robbed of not having a feel of what the highest echelon of Asian sports is all about, and that's the Asian Games. If you look back, despite the COVID happening to the entire world, the Asian Games and the Olympics went ahead. Why? Because they do not want to postpone it. And here we are, kind of mingling, I would say, very inappropriately, a team sports with an individual sports. I understand both sides have their logic. The IOA, Indian Olympic Associations, may have their logical reasons, but come on, means this for a government which has been contributing and supporting sports, I believe, a bit more than what we had in the future. And I'm a non-political person, having no political allegiance to any. The train needs to travel. Eyes closed, no debates at all. The team needs to travel.
And yeah, that's what, there is no brain required. It's a basic common sense that team of FIFA which is sorry, football, which has been the global sports, and we are getting opportunity to play to such a big Asian teams, and that too in very less cost, because it's always cost involved. If we bring Japan, Australia to India to play a friendly, it really a huge cost, and with a minimal again here is your cost is involved, but it's a minimal cost, and you are bringing your top team, I mean top team member, because under 23 is going to be the future of any specific team, and you are getting an opportunity to play there, and that too in Asia Games. The competition is a high level. At the same time, coming to sponsors, they will be love to see the Indian team going in a global event. Asian Games is not a joke. It's such a huge event, and Indian team is participating. Lot of people will be watching us, and maybe who knows, from under 23 someone will be kept from A League, or maybe can be scouted by some European clubs. Who knows it? There might be European club who is scouting here. Absolutely, because how Mitova went to Brighton, because of that. There might be scouting team who will be sitting and watching us. So these opportunity will be rare to come, and that too in 4 years. 4 years, 3 years, 5 years, we don't want to miss it. Absolutely. Let me take few of the comment meanwhile. Saji sir will do. Obviously, Sai sir has just let us know okay, there is no. Now there is a discussion going on. And yesterday night we got the clarity from Marcus and everyone that there is something cooking. Okay, positive cooking by the way. And now we got a confirmation from Sanji that yes, something is cooking. Hello sir, Akshit bhai. Hello brother. Hello. Indian football Asian Games support. Yeah, that's what we are discussing. Budajit bhai, we are discussing on this. Hello sir. Sir, the government allow that will be gift from me. Absolutely, absolutely. We are looking for, as an Indian fan, we all are looking for that government should support here. And again, we are discussing on the same thing. ये discussion ही नहीं होना चाहिए था भाई. ये gift और ये हम लोग ये जो जो पूरी time waste करें ना हम लोग to make the team good for the Asian Games. वो time उल्टा invest करना था कि how to prepare for the Asian Games, how should we do well, what will be our opponent. ये सब में हमारा brain लगना चाहिए था, not in this way. बट या दिस इज हाउ सर ने बोला ना, हमारा हिस्ट्री ही यही है, तो कुछ नहीं कर सकते. हम दिल से देसी हैं, तो देसी स्टाइल कंटिन्यू करेंगे, छोड़ने वाले नहीं है. हेलो. Indian football Asian Games, absolutely we are working on it. I agree with what you say, absolutely Fernand sir. Okay, he understands the AFA well and the whole football ecology, and that's what he is bringing those inputs to us. So please keep asking the questions. Hello Sagar Kale. Hello. Am I having a wedding anniversary? Okay, all this keep aside. Minerva boys are the future of Indian football. Yeah. Okay, this is a very good topic to discuss. Akash, good question. How do you see the recent memorable win of Gothia Cup by Minerva team? How do you see that? That will bring more Indian team participate in like a private international tournaments in upcoming days.
Huge achievement. Huge achievement. Congratulations to my dear friend Mr. Ranjit Bajaj and the Minerva Academy for going out there, winning this, because there's participation from the entire world out there. And may not the best of the world may not be there, but at that age, you cannot predict who's the best in the world. Because it's a different age altogether. The most significant thing for me is that it's been achieved by an Indian coach, Surinder Negi.
Yes.
Very another dear friend of mine, which means that despite the lack of quality coaches which we have all over India, which I always stress on, it's not all, most. Some of the coaches still know what needs to be done. And Surinder Bhai has been quite, what do you say, quite a supplier to the Indian football ecosystem, having coached quite many players. And it's been achieved by an Indian coach, all Indian contingent out there, boys who were coached properly and obviously scouted properly. Now, this thing, whenever we speak about youth football, we mean to say eyes closed, "Arey kisi goda ko lani chahiye." I'm not saying that they are bad, but have faith, have believe in our Indian coaches. And that can only happen when you yourself know what Indian coaches are capable of. You know the ecosystem very well. You know the Indian coaches, specific the qualities of the Indian coaches. And to the team's advantage, Mr. Ranjit Bajaj knows all of that. Hence, he trusted an Indian coach. Any other any other gentleman, individual who may coming it may have the same intent, but because of his lack of knowledge and lack of guidance from people who may be trying to make it a spinning a money making machine out of that, he or she would have got for a foreign coach with a huge amount of money with the right intent, and this has been going on for long. They have not delivered to us in a manner we expected them to. We have got some results at a consistent level, absolutely not. If you ask me, that's my opinion. People may differ with me. They are free to differ with me. No problem at all. Everyone is entitled to their opinions. Congratulations, and what makes it all the sweet for me, achieved by an Indian contingent, and the passion of Ranjit Bhai, because he has been. See, what happens is that you need to believe and look beyond. People do not look beyond. How many clubs from India will be going out abroad, believing in themselves, backing themselves up? Obviously, it needs some amount of finances required out there. There are two ways to look at it. You sit back, "Krip, mere paas paisa nahi hai," and the other side of the coin is, okay, let's get it done, let's arrange for it, and let's see what happens. That's what has been done, and it's a huge achievement. It's a huge achievement because at that stage, at that age, you cannot predict who's a Lionel Messi or a Kylian Mbappe or a Cristiano Ronaldo or a Diego Maradona. You just cannot. Everyone is as good as someone else, and it will only make people believe that Indian football can do it. There would be huge interest in Indian football because we have performed at the global stage. What's the next step? The next step is not just for this team, but all over, some players to be moving abroad. Unless you move abroad, you just get rotten in the system. I'm not saying that the system is bad, because the upbringing of a player in Europe, even at the second division or a first division, is entirely different from what the upbringing in the Indian setup is. Unfortunate, but we have to accept the reality. And this is not to demean any of the coaches who are there, because at this age, this is the right age where if someone can be pushed, it can, he or she, obviously these boys, he can go out, play, and then the sky is the limit. That's what we need. That's what the next generation will bring in. Otherwise, if they come back to the system and all roped in by the clubs just for them to be sitting on the bench, it's the same story over again. That, okay, once upon a time we played. If you look back at the Milk Cup 2002, 2002-03, and the Ian Rush Trophy, which we won, beating Botafogo of Brazil. The team had Gormangi Singh, Devobroto Roy, the evergreen Subroto Paul, Shubhashish Roy Chaudhary, Vimal Pariyar, Zeri Jirsanga, Chota Mama Malsam Tulunga, Banlal Rova. I forget who the others were. Some of names, but we were the best. We were the best in the Ian Rush Trophy, which was participated. The River Plate participated out there. Rangers participated. The clubs from all over the world came out with the youth teams. What happened? They are legends in our countries, but some of those players who played in the tournament have gone. Most of them have gone on to play the World Cup. We couldn't, because they got rotten in the system, Indian system. So that's what has been killing us for long. We do not require lectures and seminars and presentations and statements as to what we need to do. We just need to send the boys abroad. कहानी खत्म है भाई. आप कोचिंग नहीं करवा सकते, अब अंग्रेजी नहीं पढ़ा सकते भाई साहब. मैं नहीं पढ़ा सकता, मैं संस्कृत नहीं पढ़ा सकता. I'm not qualified enough. I can learn Sanskrit myself, but I cannot teach Sanskrit to a guy in a manner a Gurukul Pandit you'd be able to teach him or her. In the same manner, I cannot teach Urdu to a guy the same manner a Maulana Sahib would be teaching him or her. So we need to accept what we can and then transfer it to the boys and the girls at the youth level, at the kids level, at this stage, under 13 level, and then you see what happens. All this talk, so when India can go on to win the World Cup, it's not to win cup. Participate in the World Cup would just be going out for a toss, because in a vast country like India, despite efforts, the coaching structure cannot improve. हम एक्सेप्ट कर लेते भाई. मैं खाना नहीं बना सकता, बिरयानी में कोशिश कर सकता हूँ, मैं बिरयानी नहीं बना सकता क्योंकि मैं उसकी बाबूर्ची हूं नहीं. मैं कह सकता हूं भाई साहब
वो
ऐसे
हैदराबाद
डालनी
बना
होती है।
सकता है, वो हैदराबादी बना सकता है।
एग्जैक्टली, देयर कैन बी अ डिबेट,
अब
हैदराबाद
चिकन
लखनऊ,
कौसा करना है,
हैदराबाद
चिकन कौसा
लखनऊ
बात
कोलकाता,
करना है,
वो
तो
डिबेट हो
चिकन
सकता है।
कौसा आप
बट
बना सकते हैं।
बट वो शेफ में नहीं हूं।
नहीं
हाँ,
है या
मैं कोशिश करके 10 में मैं 5 नंबर मिल सकता है, 10 में 10 नहीं मिल सकता मुझे। एंड यू नीड टू डू इट कंसिस्टेंटली. So even if you teach me, my 5 out of 10 will be going up to 6, 6.5. I won't be reaching 7. The world is already at 11 out of
11?
10. That's
Yes.
what is killing us. And this Gothia Cup triumph gives me hope.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a big achievement for an Indian football team. And as I said, मैं जब भी बता जैसे अब नेक्स्ट मिलूंगा मैं बोलूंगा आपने तो मेंस टीम ले गया 13 के मेंस टीम लेके गए, व्हाई नॉट द वुमेन्स टीम, लेट्स गो एंड participate women's team also in the
Absolutely.
Gothia Cup. That will be really insane, and trust me, India need both men and women to do well. And by the way, women is doing really really well. I can deny that fact. मीनवाइल ये कमेंट को जो है ना मैंने लेना भूल गया था, मतलब लिया ठीक नहीं से, कि ही इज हैविंग द वेडिंग एनिवर्सरी एंड
Congratulations, happiness, peace and bliss, Saurav bhai. खुश रहे, मस्त रहे, कुशल रहे.
गॉड ब्लेस यू,
God
एंड ही
bless the
वांट्स
entire
ए,
family.
yes, and he want a gift from the government on his wedding anniversary, that India get allowed to play this Asia Cup. That's the love from all Indian fans. We love to see more Indian fans coming and supporting India football. That will be really really mesmerizing. Okay, now coming to another okay, ये ले लिया मैंने, today ले लिया है मैंने. Thank you Rahul bhai, I'm just putting my best which I can do for Indian football. Kindly put some light on performance expectation from our Indian team. What are the areas we need to work on? So fall them is a question to you, sir. That what would the expectation from the Indian team after performing the tournament? They did well. So what next?
Well, the target would be to do well against the better teams, better placed teams, the pot one teams. Because if you look at the World Cup qualifiers, we have been lucky, or maybe we strived hard to get lucky to get into pot two, which kind of prevents a, I won't say sure shot, but a 70-30 victory for the other team against us. Now, can we do against better against the pot one teams? It's as simple as that. You need to do it. If you look at the World Cup qualifiers, the first test would be Iraq, who's a pot one team in the Kings Cup. Maybe I believe we will be playing Iraq because Thailand won't be wanting to play Iraq as they are hosting the Kings Cup. If we are able to do well against the pot one teams, that will be defining how much we have progressed. Otherwise, it's the same old story over and over again. 2011 Asian Cup comes back to haunt us, Korea, Republic, Bahrain, and Australia. Are we still looking at that? Or have we taken that extra step as the management, the team, the players, the coach, and all claim, and the fans believe that okay, we have taken that next step. What one team say, bring on Australia, हम देख लेंगे आप क्या कर सकते हो. We may not win against them, but can we play in the same spirit as we played against Kuwait? Can we play against Japan? If we can, then there's hope. Otherwise, we again go back 4, 5, 6, 7, 20 steps downwards, and the downslide continues. We are there stagnant at a level from where we can look up but cannot reach up. And this thing has been going on for long. People have sent me hate messages, trolled me like anything when I said this. I don't care because that's the truth. Full support to the Blue Tigers and the Blue Tigresses for whatever they do. But we need to live in reality.
Absolutely.
Because winning against the Vanuatu is not same against playing against Uzbekistan. Winning against Kuwait is not same as taking on Australia in the AFC Asian Cup. If you look at Kuwait, which is not a not an Asian Cup team at all, we could not score against them despite being on a roll, and we only had to go to the tiebreaker after 120 minutes to be scoring and winning. That's an achievement in itself. But we need to understand 2 consecutive matches against Lebanon, whose dip in the quality has been evident from what it was in the early 2000s. And Kuwait, a team which has been plagued by bans, FIFA bans, have not played that much. They have had some good results. They were kind of struggle, but it's not our problem if they struggle. And but we could not, despite playing well, We could not kind of get them by the scruff of the neck. Hey, boss, आप आयो मेरे घर में ये लो एक दो तीन कहानी खत्म जाओ गुरु trophy हमारी है celebrate करो. We could not. So which brings us back to the question: how good are we? What is being projected by the fans? I would say we may lose the expectations from the fans. We need to be a bit balanced. Fan education is very much important. There was a time when the fans said that the players cannot, the team is not that technically equipped. The coach felt there was noise. The coach himself came back after the SAF championship victory claiming that, okay, we are not good enough. But let's prepare well, full support. Whatever it is, I'm sure the coach and the players would be giving their best. But giving their best, I believe Indian football has had enough. We need to get out of a realistic target of a of making it out of the group stage in the AFC Asian Cup. And I tell you, it's not impossible. It's not
It's
impossible.
possible. It is
Syria,
possible.
Uzbekistan are very much beatable. We need to plan against them, take our chances. Australia, we need to keep it as much close as we can, and then we can get out of the group stage. And obviously, the World Cup qualifies. It's a mission achieved that we are in pot two. For the first
Yes.
time ever, it would be huge, huge in
That's
Indian
why I
football
say
history if we are able
it's
to finish among the top two from the group and move out to the stage. 48 means a number of teams in the World Cup next edition's World Cup have increased. Every team would be fancying their chances, and why not we?
and that's why I keep on saying whenever the question comes that World Cup तो बहुत दूर है 2034 में करेंगे, but I told that this is a big opportunity. We don't know कोरोना फिर से आ जाएगा, we don't know another bomb फट जाएगा फिर से, पता नहीं, in the future we don't know. Okay, या कल की आ जाएगा, we don't know. We know what is coming in next year. Okay, which is next World Cup, and there is a big opportunity because the larger team group will be playing, and we are in pot two. We are in pot two. इससे better क्या chance है? Let's do it, let's try it, let's make it possible. Again, we always can have a believe, a rest. Nothing is in our hand, right? We can only believe on things. Okay, taking more questions. Sir, what do you think about technicality of Minerva World Cup 34 best player at the age of 13? Piyush Patnaik is questioning you, sir.
Well, I would put up my hand and say, being busy in other prior commitments, I could not watch them. I only watched them in snippets. But to win at that stage, at the global stage where you beat everyone, you have to be technically equipped. But at that level, you know what? Speaking about the technical ability and the capability of the players is a bit too much. It's only 13. That's 12, 13. Now they need to be taught the basics, which I believe they have been taught well. Otherwise, they would not have gone on to win the championship at all. It's as simple as that. That's simple logic. But if you ask me, did I watch it live and minutely enough? No. And let's not be too critical about the boys at this stage. All they need is a bit of support from our side. The devilish side of social media is we escalate and elevate A to a level where he or she is what she is not capable of, and we kind of pull down player B, to a level where he or she doesn't belong to, destroying his or her confidence. So
Absolutely.
that's what I always say: fan education. I'm extremely trolled for that. I don't care, because the fan education needs to come in. A player in Argentina or a Brazil or an England under 18 and under 8, under 9 level, if he dribbles fast four, won't be touted as the next Lionel Messi. In India, it happens. People without having seen anything. Let that
Yes.
thing not happen. Let's not put pressure on the boys. I have worked with this under 12, under 13, under 14 boys, and it was a kind of a struggle to keep them out of social media. They should be in the social media, but at that stage, at that adolescent stage, it's very difficult for them to understand which is the right comment for them, which is not the right comment for them. If it gets into the head at this stage, the entire plot, we would be losing it. So fan education is extremely crucial in Indian football.
Absolutely, I agree with you. And the social media is really making the things like any news today extreme level, good or bad, both in the extreme, and there is no balance, there is no control, right? And that again, the person who is seeing that, how that person will take it on, you don't know. He's taking it a very negative way, or he doesn't care, or he cares and he knows what should be the limit. Because we don't know, we can't judge that, what the person is taking on. So that always create a problem. I absolutely agree with it. Okay, now I'll take one more comment. Good job, sir. You are doing wonderful promoting Indian food. Absolutely, sir. हमारे मतलब that's why I always bring him on, so that he will give you those thoughts to you and share those insight, and which will help us to understand the Indian football more better way and a different perspective. Under 23 Asia World Cup already exit. How we pick good score for Asian Games? So it is, I think, I like Anandu Bhai. It is more on the coach, and Miranda might be leading under 23. So they will be discussing and putting up the best squad for their tactics or their formation and and the requirement of the tournament. I think that will be the best answer for this question. AFF think about under 23 and under 15? Yeah, this is a very good question, Aksit, from Aksit. That we are talking about under 19, under 17, under 23. What about under 13 and under 15? Because in the developed footballing nations, they always take care from under 9, under 13, under 15, and they always take care of it. And we have seen a Kylian Mbappe has been get into the name when he was 9 or 10 years old, and as a Monaco brought him in. And same way we have seen lot of players that they get the chance into the club 8 9 years and spend the whole Pedri, Gavi, Messi, you can take any example, right? So how do you see AIFF is going now looking for under 23, under 15? What is the plan for them?
Well, there have been under 15 and under 13 teams. You know what? Uh, Teams are mostly in India done for the AFC championships. There was a time when there was an under 14 football fest, so we had an under 13 team. Now, the AFC under 16 championship will always be there, and the under 15 team would be scouted. The question always says, what is AIFF should be having an under 13, under 15 team? Over all these years, 75, 76, 77, Azadi Kamrit Mahotsav. It's only the All India Football Federation, whoever has been at the helm of the management, who has been maintaining an under 15 team, because since the AFC under 16 qualifier started, India had to participate, and the sole responsibility, I say the sole responsibility, fell on the AIFF management. The federation has been doing it in different manner. 2008 youth development in India was officially launched under Mr. Colin Joseph Toll, and since then the players who have come out have been Gurpreet Sandhu, Raju Gaikwad, JJ Lalpeklua, Alvin George, Manandip Singh, Jewel Raja Sheikh, brilliant player, Shilton De Silva, Milan Singh, Lalindika Ralte, then the next arrows batch of Prunoy, Pritam, Narayan Das, Prathamesh, Milan was in the previous batch. Who else? Halicharan Narzari, Udanta Singh, Brandon Fernandez, Changte for a brief short period, Daniel Lalimpuya, lot many names have come out solely from the AIFF Academy. Yes, now, anyone who's asking this question, that's where I always say the fan education needs a bit of a fine tuning. Have this question been asked to the ISL clubs ever? Has this question been asked to the state associations ever? उनकी कोई responsibility नहीं है.
उनकी है.
Clubs today can pay 3 crore transfer fee to get someone from another club. It takes less than 1 crore to have a good academy for your boys. Why are boys not coming up from their academy? How many? BFC is trying the level best, but how many have been of that standard? It takes time. It takes time. You cannot just switch on an academy and expect, okay, I'll be having a Kylian Mbappe and a Lionel Messi and a CR7 in one batch itself. नहीं हो सकता. नहीं हो सकता. But कोशिश कर रहे other clubs. So this question needs to be addressed to all those clubs who are recruiting players at exorbitant rates. Why do you need to recruit a player at an exorbitant rate just because you do not have one? It's been almost 10 years that the ISL has been conceptualized.
Absolutely.
Even the I League, there have been clubs in the I League for many years, and century-old clubs, 70, 80-year-old clubs in Indian football, do they have an academy? Why don't they have an academy? So this question of under 13 and under 15 should
Should
also
be
be
going
addressed
to
to them. We
nice.
are lucky at least that the federation is kind of do not have any option and are picking from whatever limited resources, and resources is not just money,
Yeah.
resources is the pipeline.
Yes.
That's the
Basically, yeah.
resource at the youth stage. It's not money. Look at the पैसा नहीं है, इंफ्रा नहीं है, घंटा है, कुछ नहीं है, इसमें कुछ नहीं होता. अफ्रीका में, Latin America में, people, kids do not get ground to play. They play on concrete
Yes.
and basketball courts. People are
Correct.
not aware. They play on mud, they play on pebbles. आजकल कोई भी फिरंगा के बोल देते you need great infra. We don't need infra. We need a pipeline. That's the resource which we need. And when if I again I be told on Twitter, I don't care. But these are facts. These are facts. We are being told what is not primary, what can be avoided and is a kind of secondary or sub-secondary thing. I understand infra is required, but it's a
Yes.
sub-secondary option for us at the current scenario which we have. We need more and more teams and academies and coaches to go out and coach and play. That's all I have been saying. That's all what I have been saying till the situation in my eyes change.
Okay, another thing I would like to bring that India Aero को बंद क्यों किया गया? Like we have seen a lot of current team players are from India Aero. उसको recently हमने close down कर दिया, जो हमारे new committee है उन्होंने बंद कर दिया है, and they rely on Reliance Federation, that development league. So how do you see that India Aero could have been continued?
Well, it's a technical committee decision. It's not for me to be commenting whether it was right or wrong. I may have an opinion, but that opinion does not stand. As much everyone can have an opinion.
Yes.
So the guy on social media who feels an under 13 guy is comparing him with Messi. He's an opinion, and to respect it. Maybe that needs to change in my eyes. In his eyes, is absolutely right. What I have read in the read in the media and understood after chats with my friends is that they want the state associations to come out of their shell, make some good recruitment, scouting at the youth level, so that it gives more of a plethora of resources, which I was talking about, to the national, to the for selection, and then they draw upon what do you say? They draw upon the under 16 team, because they feel that the Indian Arrows, despite being there, have not quite delivered at the international level to the extent it was expected to. But it's a double-edged sword again.
But all players are from there only. Like you can see 90% players are from there only. There's
Yeah,
the
at least,
academy will help
yeah.
us.
The Arrows provided a structure to us. The Arrows provided a structure and a pathway to us, because the biggest achievement of Arrows was, unless the Arrows were there after the under 19 level at the transition phase, most of them would have just gone out and sit in the ISL clubs and could have been kind of totally been extinct. Uh, if you look at the current team, Anirudh Thapa, Jackson Singh, Brandon was not in the Arrows. They have a youth development project. Suresh Singh, unfortunately injured. All of them have been Arrows product. Rahim
Yes.
Ali, who's kind of trolled and kind of told that he's not good enough, Arrows product. Rahul KP, Vikram Pratap Singh, Arrows product. So whoever, Narendra Gehlot, Arrows product. Akash Mishra, Arrows product.
That's product. Yes.
Prabhakaran Gill, Arrows product. So the contribution of the AIFF Academy, and then going into 16 to 19 to the Indian Arrows, there was a kind of a pipeline, I would say a sync. Now
Yes.
the new management wants to have a different thing. As long as we get a sync, so it's futile to be debating वो अच्छा था ये अच्छा था. Eventually हम लोग को ज्यादा नहीं मिला. Even under 22 we have not been able to get out of the group stage, leave under 22 even at the under 19 level. So they took a decision which I believe will obviously, with all good intent, they have taken, and let it prove beneficial to Indian football. It's each our tendencies to criticize whatever has happened. It's human psyche. Let's give them some time at least.
Okay. Yeah, that's also a good point. Okay. Remember the name Resham and Ajam Tony from under 20 base gonna be the future star. Absolutely, we'll see, and let's see how they will be not getting developed and bringing into the under Indian team going forward. Under 23 Asia Cup Asian Games squad, how we pick. So again, under 23 Asia Cup is a qualifier, and where all the now the under 23 team will be, under 23 team member will be playing there, and Miranda will be coaching Mr. Miranda, because Stimac will be not be available at that point. And now coming to Asian Games, if we get clearance, if we go that time there is no national game, so Stimac will be available and he will be taking care of the Asian Games. And there you have three senior players who can play, and that will be already decided. I think already sent the name is our goat Sunil Chhetri, and then your Zignan. Obviously, we need a defender who is like Zignan level, and the keeper Sandhu. So ये तीन जो है select हो चुके हैं और इनकी नाम जो है जा चुकी है. But again, ये तो हमें मतलब whatever news we are getting right now, we'll once you get a clarity, we'll get to know. But this is how the rules is: under 23 no seniors in the qualifier, under 23 with seniors in the Asian Cup. So that's how the series, and Miranda here lead, and here Stimac will lead. Okay. Jai Delhi also. Okay, sure. Rahul Joshi, Minerva Academy is creating future diamonds for Indian football. Absolutely, and they should be keep doing it. I would need that. Dennis also, all the boys. I would also appreciate one other club, SFK India in Gotia Cup, who went in unnoticed. I would want the youth team of ISL to participate constantly in such events. And absolutely, and one more thing I want to add, that SFK is a Pune club, and they haven't gone through the group stage. And if you see, before this year, there's no Indian team never gone through the group stage, and this time two team gone through the next stage, and there is one is SFK and another one is Minerva, and then we won the whole cup. But SFK is also actively participating with Gotia Cup recent times. Being head coach of Indian football team in Special Olympic Summer Games Berlin last month and winning the gold medal made many coaches and countries surprised. They didn't believe us. Absolutely. बहुत कमेंट आया यार. तुषार, but Minerva Academy, beat Sweden, Spanish, Brazil clubs. So why not Indian Academy do it? Don't talk rubbish, please. I didn't get it. But Minerva Academy beat Sweden, Spanish, Brazil. Why not Indian Academy do it? Absolutely, Indian Academy can do it. We are not denying that fact. What I am trying to say is that if they go outside, they will get a very good learning and then come back and put those knowledge to the team, and can share this in the dressing room. And we know it now. Coming to Messi has a lot of knowledge in the Spanish, and different culture he understood. And then when he brings to Argentina team, though he is not playing in Argentina, but he brings those knowledge to the Argentina dressing room. Same comes to even IPL. Once you play abroad, get chance, share your dressing room with different top players, top coaches, you bring those knowledge to your own country. That helps us. That's what the point here is. From my POV, I think we should send our elite trio, Chhetri, Jignan, Sandhu, if you're going to Asian Games, because they're chaos of sending team. If do bad, they will be jump on us badly. Yeah, they will be sending. Any update on about Asian Games? Yeah, that's what, as I said, Saji Prabhakaran ji just gave an update that they are working, and once we'll get an update, we might get in next 24 to 36 hours. And it is something is cooking positively, because otherwise they won't be talking on this point. There will be nothing to talk. There is something is going on, especially the authority. Yes. Okay. But we did it in this moment. Players and coaches went for, let's change the mentality, let's go for it. Absolutely, we want to be doing it, and we want to see the team against Iraq, which will be helping. Will be We are playing in Kings Cup, then we are going to play Palestine in the Mardika, and then we'll be having Asian Games. If we will be having our team tested there with the very good teams. At the same time, under 23 AFC qualifier. Again, we are going to play very good teams there. So this whole year, we are going to play a lot of tough matches, tough away games, and that will give us more, make us more stronger, more better, and more closer to our goal. And that's what we are looking for, right? That's what we are fighting for right now. I think scouts are there in the Sweden. We saw these lads. Maybe some of these boys get chance to play abroad. That's what we are looking for. That's what we are looking for. That's what we are looking for. And if you say, I want to another thing, I want to say, guys, look at the Brazil. Okay, how many players from Brazil national team play in Brazil? And you don't have a they don't have a good coach. They don't have a good skillful coaches and authorities. Everything is there. But again, as I said, you become more no diversify with the culture. You learn lot of stuff and bring to the table, and that's what Neymar bring to the table to Brazil team. Not about talent. Okay, leave out Neymar. Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva brings that to the table. Why he was there? No, even Danny Alves. Why he was there is because bringing those experience which you can't learn just overnight, or with the money you can buy it. Experience always come with spending time and knowing lot of stuff. You can't take it away. Okay, thank you, Sandeep. Bye. Sir, any update on infrastructure development like two FIFA stadium, standard stadium, and one smart stadium by 2025? The question to you, sir.
See, under the FIFA Forward program, turfs are, it's not stadium. FIFA gives turfs, artificial turfs. Under the FIFA Forward program, the last FIFA Forward program, the artificial turf was provided to the Mizoram FA. I'm sure the FA management being in safe hands, they'll be looking into it also how they can make optimal utilization of the FIFA Forward program. But FIFA never gives you stadiums. This is a wrong notion, in fact. FIFA gives you artificial turfs. FIFA gives you balls to play for the kids to play all over, which is sent all across, but nothing in the form of stadium.
Okay, stadium से बात आई तो मैं एक क्वेश्चन पूछने वाला हूँ. So now there is always a question that India should have a FIFA, matlab footballing stadium where there will not be no athletic, tracks and everything. Now my question comes that it's always the case for AFF and government to do it, or the clubs can take a part and do other favor for the Indian football. How do you see? Because in Europe we see that Old Trafford, Camp Nou, this all the club has created those massive grounds or stadiums. So do you think that it's always been AFF and government has to take care, or someone can take the burden, share the burden?
Well, it's not the burden. If you look at the clubs, it's not a burden, it's an asset. How many of
Absolutely.
the clubs in India have a stadium? Srinidhi has one, means practice grounds and all. How many? Roundglass trying to create one. How many? Everyone is dependent on the government stadia. Now people may say, okay, all those cricket stadia that we have all over all over the country are also government stadia. Absolutely fine. But
But that is a club
the
based, na?
same
Football is not a club based.
for football,
Sorry, cricket is
cricket
not
is
a
not.
club based. Yeah.
Exactly. So none of the state associations have their own stadia. BCCI obviously, but the state associations do not have one. So it's an asset. I won't say it's sharing the agenda, and it's time for the clubs to be having their own stadia. We do not need 50,000 or 60,000. We need 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 in the heart of the city. It's difficult because the land of the land, the permission, the price of the land, the permissions, why will be they giving it to Indian football? You all already see the drama which is going on about Indian football's participation to the Asian Games. So it's not the kind of most favored sport in the country, despite it having a huge backup from the footballing fraternity, huge engagement on social media. But people still believe Indian football does not perform. And when this opinion comes into their minds, we like it or not, some time or the other, maybe they are right to some extent. Now, obviously, we can debate that we have won 3 championships. I even take the Tri-Nation, which was there in Manipur,
Fine,
the Intercontinental Cup, the SAF Championship back to back. The test begins now. So
yes.
the interest needs to be developed, and only then getting permissions for such stadia comes in. Obviously, the clubs need to have stadia of their own. The federation can also have a stadium. They also need to have a stadia of their own. Government helps with government help. That's all I can say.
Absolutely. Okay, another good question, Pius Patnaik. You are asking a lot of good questions. Sir, India and Japan are education hubs, absolutely. Parents want their kid to have secure future. This is that is why Japan worked on the university football at a massive scale. Example, Mitoma is the best example out of it, and he did a course on it, by the way. And you can see the result. He is doing a fantastic job for his nations and the Brighton. So, what do you think that Indian education can start thinking beyond the traditional education and bringing those into the plate, because we have seen CBSE, ICSE, somewhere they're trying to do it. Very very big international schools are there trying to do it, but it's very so expensive, and we know it is very difficult to get a talent from that group of schools. Whereas we need to go to the ground and see every corner of the village, and can install these educations, that sports educations.
Well, two aspects to this. One is, give me a moment. My dog has been not seeing me for long. He just came here wagging his tail. Why am I taking so long? So there are two aspects to it. One is,
He
two
can join
aspects.
if he's fine.
Two aspects to it. One is it's not just football. Means which name a sport in the country other than cricket, which is taught at the school
Yeah,
level,
true.
and who teaches it? Who teaches it? We have invariably one, max two physical education teachers there who are not coaches. Physical education is a different aspect of paradigm altogether. Who are not
Yes,
coaches, who's teaching the individuals, is teaching basketball, hockey, football, cricket, volleyball, each and everything. So at the grooming stage, is quality stuff being taught? No. And it's not just football, it's each and every sport. Cricket's lucky because there are coaching centers all over.
yeah,
Every mom and dad parent wants their kid to become, at least go and play the sport. That's one. And the other aspect is the university games have shut down, have closed,
yes,
have
yes,
totally
rightly put.
closed. It's not just football. Which university games do happen? People may go back and say, "एक time पे हुआ करता था, अभी तो नहीं है." So
Abhi chahiye.
when we speak about the university concept or the school concept, it's very easy for us to try comparisons, give lectures in seminars, get huge social media and engagement, what needs to be done. But unless sports is in the curriculum, and this has been going on, मैं बचपन से सुन रहा हूँ कि sports curriculum में आएगा, बुढ़ा होके बाल चला गया, नहीं
बात
आया,
चला गया, नहीं आया.
कब आएगा किसी को नहीं पता, शायद
और
आने
उल्टा
वाला भी
जो भी
नहीं है।
हो रहा था, इफ आई कैन से, माइट बी इन योर केस आल्सो, माय केस आल्सो, हमारे पास कुछ कंपटीशन थे, कबड्डी हो, खो खो हो, हम खेलते थे. आजकल वो भी बंद हो गई है. आजकल स्कूल में
You
कुछ भी
look
नहीं
at you
होता
look
है.
you forget university. You look at the domestic level, which other than IPL, the only sport which has a domestic league and level is for Indian football.
Yes.
The team sports, Indian cricket, domestically Ranji Trophy and all, लोग जाते हैं देखने. People purchase tickets to go and watch? No, because the big stars do not play. At least Indian football has a consistent domestic level. Men, women, under 16, under 19, the youth leagues, it's there, and a calendar year is going on finished. We need to
Yes.
improve on it, but it's still happening. Hockey, do we have a domestic scenario? Despite we being India? So what are we
Yes.
talking about? We just speak about Japan concept, Mitoma. ये सब बोलने वाला है बात. The support needs to be coming from the government, and it's high time it's introduced. Now you know what? The government support to the elite athletes, top heavy approach is absolutely fine. It's doing wonders, but at the grassroots stage, that's where the government needs to come in,
Absolutely.
irrespective of their political indifferences in the states, in the schools, each and every school. We need to have, okay, target some sports. Okay, this school A has a shooting coach, has a wrestling coach, has a basketball coach or a cricket coach. School B has a football coach, a hockey coach. It's compulsory. You need to be there. मेरी डॉटर के स्कूल में एक टीचर सब कुछ
सब
सिखाते थे.
सब कराता है.
क्या
सही
सिखाएंगे?
बात.
यदि यदि हमें बोला जाता है सर जी आप बास्केटबॉल सिखा दो, मैं बॉल को 4 बार बाउंस करूंगा तो मारो, यही मैं
हाँ,
सिखाऊंगा.
और
इससे
क्या
ज्यादा
स्टॉप.
मैं नहीं सिखा पाऊंगा.
कुछ आता ही.
मे बी गूगल करके आई मे गेट सम टेक्निकल पॉइंट्स एंड से 1 2 गो, ऐसे करो, ड्रिल करो. वो भी एक 40 मिनट का पीरियड होता है. बच्चे भी घूमते रहते हैं, बोले चलो 2 राउंड लगाओ, 30 मिनट्स आ गया, बॉल लेके 5 बार बाएं हाथ 10 बार दाएं हाथ करो, 20 minutes ओके, गेम खेल लो, कहानी खत्म. Why are we kidding? That describes the
फिजिकल
situation of
एक्टिविटी होगा.
sports in the country.
इट इज नॉट स्पोर्ट्स, इज ए फिजिकल एक्टिविटी बोला जाता है इसको. यही सीन है. आई एग्री, आई एग्री. और इवन तो हमारे जो हमें स्कूल में हमारे बच्चे पढ़ रहे हैं, मतलब मेरे बच्चे पढ़ रही है, दैट इज फाइन. बट हम जब गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में आते थे, मैंने उड़ीसा से आया, मैं उड़ीसा गवर्नमेंट में स्कूल में जाता हूँ, मैं अभी भी देखता हूँ स्पोर्ट्स के नाम पे पहले तो कबड्डी सैटरडे को होता था यार, कबड्डी खो खो हम खेलते थे. आजकल वो भी नहीं हो रही है. दैट इज द
I
सीन, राइट?
I went with a friend of mine to a very posh school in Delhi.
ओके.
Very posh school in Delhi. There are lots all over the country,
यस.
and there were 3 table tennis boards out there. So they had classes. Means people were playing. There was no one to coach them. Absolutely. Who want to show कि grip क्या है, ball क्या है, कैसे मारनी है, आपकी shoulder में finish होना है? Nothing. The kids who have been exposed to TT, ball ऐसे करके racket पे ले रहा है और racket से tennis की जैसा मार रहा है. Who teaches them? Okay, it's fun activity, but then you expect these players, kids, to be developing into paddlers.
नो, ये फन
Anyway,
एक्टिविटी में ही
Professor
रहता है.
Sam, I need to push off with your
Absolutely,
permission. I have some prior
absolutely.
commitments, as I told you.
Absolutely. Please. And thank you for being here and sharing your thoughts. Thank you. And keep doing it. And love you, sir. Always. Jai Hind.
Love always. Thank you.
Okay, I'll take few of the comments and then we'll close this. Okay. So, sir, many young player people who I know are going abroad to their coaching course. It based course are not available. Let us go out to get. Absolutely. हर चीज. देखो मैं अभी उड़ीसा में रहता था, राइट? मैं उड़ीसा का बंदा हूँ, बट मेरे को वहां पे अच्छे कॉलेजेस नहीं मिले. आई डिडंट लाइक द एमबीए कॉलेजेस एंड आई हैड टू गो आउटसाइड एंड गो टू पुणे, लर्न द एमबीए कॉलेजेस, sorry, learn in my one of the MBA college in Pune, and then whatever I am right now I am. और मेरे दोस्त लोग जो हैं उस टाइम पे वो रिस्क नहीं लिए, बोले नहीं यार हमारे घर में रहना है, हमें दही पकौड़ा खाना है, हमें चिकन खाना है, हमें राइस खाना है, हमें कहीं नहीं जाना है. एंड रियली ट्रस्ट मी, ऐसा नहीं कि सब कोई ओडिशा जो एमबीए कॉलेज में पढ़े हैं और सब लोग नो अच्छा नहीं किए. देयर आर पीपल हु गेट एन अपॉर्चुनिटी एंड डू वेल, स्पेशली किड्स में, आरसीए में अच्छे अच्छे कॉलेजेस हैं जहाँ पे वो ने बड़ा बहुत अच्छा किया है. बट मैं जैसा एवरेज बंदा था, मैं ऐसा एवरेज बंदा था ना, वहां पे जाता तो मैं और एवरेज बन जाता. बिकॉज आई वेंट हेड, जो मैं कंफर्ट जोन से बाहर निकला, तो मुझे बहुत कुछ चीजें सीखने को मिली. जो टैलेंटेड बंदा है ना, उसको गांव में क्या, उसको पढ़ने की भी जरूरत नहीं, वो टैलेंट बन जाएगा. बट जो एवरेज बंदा है ना, उसको एक टफ जगह पे जाना है जहां पे उसको इंप्रूव करना पड़ेगा. द बेस्ट एग्जांपल इज रोनाल्डो. You know it. He was not talented. He worked hard to be the CR7 we are now seeing. And if you ask him talent, it's Messi. He was the talent, but again, उसने भी हार्ड वर्क हुआ है, हार्ड वर्क किया है. बट जैसे कुछ लोग होते हैं ना, बिना टैलेंट के होते हैं भाई लोग, और मैं ऐसा ही कुछ हूँ. हर चीज पे मेहनत करना पड़ता है. जैसे मैं अभी कुछ कर रहा हूँ. आई एम नॉट सच ए गुड नो पब्लिक स्पीकर, और मे बी मैं कोई यूट्यूबर, बोन यूट्यूबर नहीं हूँ. मैं एक आईटी का बंदा हूँ, प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर हूँ, बट आई एम वर्किंग हार्ड टू बी वन. सो वो सीन होती है. ओके. As you said, coaches are India not good as European coaches. So why we are not sending our coaches to learn European team? Because one coach can improve 100 players. Absolutely, that's what the plan for damage is. AFF is doing. AFF sending them and giving them an opportunity. अब चल रही है, और हम लोग धीरे धीरे गुरु जो हैं, गुरु एकलव्य, हमारे गुरु द्रोणाचार्य, सॉरी, गुरु द्रोणाचार्य जो है बढ़ा रहे हैं, धीरे धीरे हो रहा है. एंड वी सी लॉट ऑफ इंडियन कोचेस आर डूइंग वेल नाउ इट इज. सो फर्नांडिस का चीज कर लीजिए, अपने हमारे मिरांडा जी का एग्जांपल लीजिए, सब अच्छे कर रहे हैं अभी. सॉरी गाइस, आई हैव टू टेक माय डिनर विथ यू गाइस, और कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है मेरे पास. व्हाई द एएफएम नॉट स्टार्टिंग यूथ लीग एज सुन एज पॉसिबल? चल रही है. आई थिंक उन्होंने बातचीत कर लिया है, उन्होंने सेटअप भी किया है. आज ही कुछ न्यूज आई है. लेट मी गो थ्रू द न्यूज गाइस फॉर यू. न्यूज आई है आज, उन्होंने लीग का सेटअप किया है, उन्होंने ग्रुप भी बना लिया है. लेट मी टेल यू, द ग्रुप्स भी बन चुकी है भाई लोग. कहाँ गया ग्रुप? ग्रुप बन चुकी है, मैं दिखाता हूँ आप लोगों को. मेरे को अभी सुसु लगी है यार, और मुझे जाने का मन कर रहा है, बट यू गाइस विल लीव मी if I'll go there. If I'll stay, then I'll go for a, a break I need right now. हाँ रुको, आ गया मेरे पास, मैं दिखा देता हूँ आप लोगों को। कहाँ है ये? यही है। सो ये बन चुकी है गाइस, हमारे नेशनल फुटबॉल चैंपियनशिप फॉर बीसी रॉय ट्रॉफी 2023-24 के लिए, जूनियर बॉयज के लिए। अगेन इसमें भी मेरे कंप्लेन है। कंप्लेन ये है कि आप जो बना रहे हो ये सब सिस्टम ना, इसमें एक टीम अभी 3 मैच खेलेगी, 4 मैच खेलेगी, उसके बाद वो ग्रुप से बाहर जाएगा तो आगे का मैच खेलेगा, नहीं तो 4 मैच। और एक 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 यूथ लेवल पे आप पेड्री को लोगे। मैं आना पड़ेगा मुझे, मैं आता हूँ 5 मिनट में आता हूँ गाइस। 5 मिनट नहीं, 1 सेकंड में। नाउ राइट, मुझे कुछ दिख नहीं रहा है यार। नाउ ऑल गुड, नाउ ऑल गुड, यू गाइस आर एबल टू हियर मी? हेलो, आप लोगों को आवाज आ रहा है क्या नहीं बताओ यार, ना हैंग हो गया ये।